What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Range Time Podcast. I'm not Cisco.
And why are we wearing plate carriers?
In celebration of the coupon code we got going on right now, coupon code gear, and in addition to other coupon codes we got going on as well.
Absolutely. There's actually a lot of discounts going on.
Oh my God, yes.
It's ridiculous. Like, there's the summer sale going on already.
Yes.
Up to 25% off, which is absolutely, that's site-wide. That's not even using the coupon code.
Yeah.
And then normally we already have free shipping over $179, and the reward store credit, that's all the Mambo Combo stuff. And then coupon code GEAR, what Isaiah was just saying, is 20% off all of our tactical gear section.
Yeah, it can be plate carriers, chest rigs, helmets, dummy night vision, literally anything that's considered tactical gear, you get that up to 20% off. We also have coupon code 20th, so 20TH at checkout. Use that for 10% off any order, even if it's already discounted, as long as it's not a shocker deal, you'll be getting that additional 10% off. And we got coupon code 20BD. If you could, like, birthday, kind of makes sense, 20th anniversary, yeah, you get the idea. 20BD for 20% off.
Is that what that meant?
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was.
Birthday.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, birthday. That's what it stands for. Yeah, 20BD at checkout for 20% off accessories, like BBs, green gas, batteries, chargers, flashlights, magazines, that sort of stuff. You get the idea. Literally the best time to go ahead and shop is right now. So make sure you get your orders in. And again, it's going to be a shopping spree giveaway that you're going to get entered into. It's $1,200 right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And during the premiere of this podcast, we are going to be doing double entries. So make sure you place your orders right now while you're tuning in, okay?
All right, with that said, we got an interesting topic. I know this is something that you've been wanting to talk about, and I would want to talk about this one as well. So it's the different classes in Airsoft, right? So,
yes, indeed.
This is something that, like, I feel like to an extent, right, we don't see as much anymore on the regular walk-on, like, or the more casual side of Airsoft. I feel like we don't see it as often as we used to back in the day when more platforms are, I guess you would say, readily available, but there are still plenty of options that you can definitely pick up at Airsoft GI, but that are available and that are viable classes for you as a player, and knowing which one you should get on with. But, all right, a little bit, going on to you. When it comes to the classes, like, what exactly do you think, like, or how would you describe the classes in Airsoft?
So, I mean, I think the class system in Airsoft is very similar to what would be designated in, like, the military, in the Army, right? Or any other branch. So, you have your regular rifleman, which is kind of just like the grunt soldier, has a regular, like, AR, just a run and gun, do the nitty and gritty. And then there's going to be the LMG, the support gunner, that is going to lay down cover fire. Of course, still hunting for heads, but I think in Airsoft, an overarching goal or objective for a support gunner is to make sure you keep players pushed back or heads down at least, so you can tactfully advance or move. Right?
There's also a reconnaissance role as well, in which you would be more equipped, like, with maybe say like a bolt action sniper rifle or a designated marksman's rifle, like again like an SR-25, right? Again, your main goal isn't necessarily, I mean, depending on the unit, right, and who we're talking about specifically, because these are all very loose terms that we're using. With a reconnaissance position or role, your main job isn't necessarily to get, like, score headshots across the map, like you're going to be getting headshots like a Call of Duty. No, your main goal is to provide intel, provide overwatch, and if need to, take out targets in a position that no one else would be able to. And then would you say there's any other classes at that point?
So I think depending on where you're playing will dictate what you're actually able to do, because this may not be something more feasible for outdoors, but in CQB arenas, well, I guess in outdoors as well, someone that has like a CQB gun that can really move around and get through the buildings.
If there's like a very like close-knit or like tight CQB section in an outdoor map.
Yeah, exactly. Like they could really just like perform optimally, like cutting the corners, making sure it's clear, especially if there's an objective in there or you need to secure the entire building or something. This is where objective-based games really do come to play. But I do think each specific kind of class of do I say player? What classification that you're going for in Airsoft will kind of dictate how you play. But it's also up to your personal imagination and creativity on how you do it. Like I would like to break down each individual one, but just to note, when you run your LMG, you told me you normally run it like like a rifleman.
Yeah, okay, granted, this all depends too on the field rules. I think that's something
Yes,
you guys mentioned
of
too.
course.
Some field rules are very particular about what guns are actually even allowed to be played at their fields,
Yep.
beyond just the regular FPS requirements, right?
Mhm.
Like remember we went to US Airsoft Field,
Yep.
they actually had very strict rules regarding like LMGs, right?
Yes.
Or MMGs, right? Where you couldn't move and shoot. So that severely nerfed me my playstyle. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little. I love the field, love the environment. A little salty about that one rule, but it is what it is.
So well, it was.
You had to have it perched or like lying prone. You basically had to have it posted up somewhere.
To
You
shoot.
couldn't move and shoot.
Yeah, with an LMG because they did allow full auto with LMGs.
Yeah. Well, they allowed full auto, but it was like you have to do like burst mode.
Oh, of course,
basically.
yeah. I mean, anybody that just holds it down for 10 seconds is a pretty big douchebag, in my
Yeah.
opinion. But I mean, obviously, situation dictates, of
Yeah.
course. But I think because of that rule, it forces the LMG user in a more support gunner role, right? So
Yeah.
instead of doing like using it like a regular rifle, you have to pick a good corner and lay down fire, keep heads
Yeah,
down.
what are all these gains for then? Like, that's what I'm doing it for.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because
So-
they're like their whole thing was, and I get it, right? That their whole thing regarding that was like, in reality, you wouldn't be seeing like guys moving with LMGs trying to clear buildings. But I'm like, I have footage of like actual Marines like clearing out like
valid
way
statement.
back in the day, like with 249s and the full size ones
Yeah.
too, with the big ass stock.
That's a valid statement.
It's not gonna argue because obviously it's their field rules.
Yeah,
But
of
you can also apply that towards other roles as well. Like take the bolt action sniper rifle for example. When you build them out and you upgrade them, you are trying to get like the maximum amount of range,
Yeah, of
the
course.
most effective amount of range, and the highest power that you can achieve from them. Obviously within following that field regulation. So
Yeah, of course.
some fields are gonna say, hey, 450. 500, or some of them don't even care and will just flatline it at 400 exactly for everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
So that can kind of nerf your ability to go far. Not that you can't be effective with the bolt action,
Oh, yes, of
but
course.
it does hinder the potential of your bolt action sniper rifle as well and the roll itself.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, this is a very
The big iceberg
onion
here.
layered iceberg.
Onions have layers.
Ogres have layers. Onions have layers.
You like onions? Oh, because you smell? No. Because you make people cry? No.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad you know.
Of course.
But yeah, no. So field regulations is definitely going to be the big stipulation. If you
Yeah.
have one field where you go to, and it's like the only field that you have access to, of course you're going to want to follow their regulations.
Of course.
So you're going to want to build your gun optimally to whatever the rule set is for the field.
Yeah. So this is, again, all these scenarios are like when we do our breakdowns of what each role is and if that's something for you. Just, again, keep that in mind. This is assuming that your field is going to allow it. Again, highly recommend you read the list of rules at your field and see what's actually allowed.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, like when it comes to the roles themselves, what role would you say or class would you define yourself as?
Ooh, that's
What do you have history with doing yourself?
So I've definitely done the sniper, scout, reconnaissance type role. I have always done the rifleman role, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I have done more of a rusher
Okay.
type role as well, just getting to the front line type thing. And I would say that's honestly about it. With rusher though, like I also do like a very specialized CQB type of loadout
Mhm.
where
I think there's like subgenres almost. Like
Yeah.
I think just you know what, like to make it easier for like everyone, because again, like Airsoft in a sense is basically just like FPS games, right? Just in real life to an extent.
oh, absolutely
Right. I guess we'll go ahead and use the battlefield rules here. That's the way I like to go ahead and define it typically. Obviously, it's a lot more nuanced than this when it comes to the real world. Obviously, in the real life, like military, there's going to be a lot more different categorizations, different roles,
Yep.
different positions, and even then, like you can even specialize that even more. But for the sake of just simplicity, we'll go ahead and narrow it down to like I guess 4 main classes, right?
Okay.
Your assault or your rifleman, right? Again, they're just
Okay.
standard issue with some type of rifle of some kind or carbine.
Yeah.
Although carbines, if you think that. Okay, we're not gonna bring it up again. Carbine, I'm gonna say carbines you can take if you can use it in every single class, but whatever.
Yeah.
Then there's also your support, which is again gonna be running an LMG. You have your recon, which is gonna be using something like a DMR or a bolt action sniper rifle of some
Mhm.
kind. And then you have your engineer, which is using like typically the engineers are armed with a PDW of some kind, or maybe like a small little SMG.
Oh, interesting.
And as their specialty tool, they either have like a repair tool or they have a some form of like launcher or explosive device with them.
Oh, okay. So for engineer, they could honestly, I could see that being used in multiple aspects, like you said, like a grenadier or.
Grenadiers are actually relegated typically to like the assault.
Oh, really?
In video games, if you have the right kit, you actually have the option of being paired up with a grenade launcher.
Oh yeah, that's valid.
Because it makes sense too, like even in the real in like.
Oh yeah, it is an assault.
Yeah,
like someone attacked.
Usually, like a lot of rifle squads, there is usually one, maybe two guys that actually are grenadiers as well.
So would an engineer class be more of like a medic role as well?
Usually the medic role is also assault as well.
If you don't kiss
me. No.
I'm
not joking. No, guys, back me up here in the lab chat. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
If you don't.
No, like, so again, when I say launcher, I mean like actual like RPG, a javelin, a stinger.
Something to take out a vehicle.
Like something specifically designed for like anti-vehicles.
Okay, well, there aren't too many of those in Airsoft, so.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing. But what I do like about those is that they are armed with PDWs. And I do think the PDW SMG classes, again, that does have its place in Airsoft for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, indeed. So I think maybe for us to simplify it, because again, there are so many different categories for classes and what you, like what you would classify yourself as well. So let's just do like assault rifleman, support gunner, and scout.
Okay.
So, and everything in assault rifleman will be, everything else like medic or engineer.
Sure. Granted, these are specialty rules, obviously, for like video games that might not always like apply to Airsoft, depending on the game mode. Because again, depending on the game mode you get, it can apply, and when it does, oh man, it's so fun.
Yeah, of course.
When they actually start implementing like medics and everything. It's so fun.
Oh, absolutely. It adds a layer. See, whenever we do a game with medics, I feel bad for the medics. Boy, they are running.
They're putting in work.
I hope you put your cardio in. Sam always likes to be the medic.
Yeah.
I remember like every time we play that Wildlands, he wants to be the medic. He's getting called left and right. Like he'll be so winded after like the first 5 minutes. I'm like, you asked for this, boy. This is what you wanted.
You know what? Sometimes like BS. Not that I volunteer for it. I end up finding myself a lot of times, especially at MSW. I find myself in a medic position.
Really?
Well, I mean, anyone can go ahead and provide buddy aid, right?
Okay.
But like when people are dying right on the floor, they're just like, medic, right? I'm like, fuck, why I'm not the only one?
Why?
Why me? So I have to. The things I do fall off, right? Yeah. So I have to go around. I hope you know that reference, please. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I have to go around and revive people, right? And I have this. Yeah. So it's like sometimes I'll have to give it off to my buddy. I'm like, here, you take this. I'll be right back, and just pull out my sidearm.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, medics put in work, man.
Oh, absolutely. But in the generalization class that we laid out, for regular rifleman, that would be like the regular airsofter.
Yeah,
right?
I feel like that's the majority of airsofters generally. Because again, especially if you're like a fairly newish player, right? You're gonna be rocking with just like your standard AR, your M4, your M16, which they're everywhere, right? It's the Mayo gun, right?
Or some type of AEG that has semi-full auto capability.
Yeah,
right. Normally falling into the general restrictions of the field rules. So
it is the easiest like class to really get into because again, the AR itself like can do so much. It can fill almost every single one of these roles. Maybe not as well as say a 249, right?
Yep.
But it can still do it. But again, it depends on the field itself. Most of the fields are going to restrict you to semi-automatic fire only.
Yeah, exactly. And if you just because you slap a drum mag on your M4
doesn't make it an LMG.
Does not make it an LMG. Okay, let's just get that out of the water.
Yeah.
The M27 IAR is the exception, but only because of military designation. That's the only exception. But no, yeah. So like regular assault class rifleman, you're just doing the game objective. You're playing a I don't want to say generic role, but you're playing the game the way that it was meant to be played. Okay? Yeah. You're going up against a team. You're trying to complete whatever objective that you need, and you will, just shoot, run, and gun. Right?
You are the main workhorse, essentially. You're the main workhorse. You are like have the most amount of bodies. You're the main driving force behind either team. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're there to go ahead and like get a job done, work with other people, and get it done. Again, you can be relegated to maybe even specialty roles later on, but typically, again, you are just the main fighting force.
Yeah,
right.
And and this role could be achieved very easily.
Oh yes.
Like you could do it with the minimal amount of gear. Like Isaiah and I weren't plate carriers. You could easily do this with like a chest rig by itself.
Yeah.
And just have the gun, of course, all your safety gear.
Some extra magazines and you're done.
Yeah, exactly. You're doing what needs to get done, right? But yeah, and not even like limiting the role to M4 specifically. Like you could do it with an AK.
Yeah.
You could do it with like a G36, even like a CQB gun. Like the PW9 right here. Not PW9, that's the PXG9 from Class
There you go. There you go. Available at airsoft.com. This is the field ready combo version.
Mm-hmm. Got the tracer unit, the optic, and the hand stop there. Mighty tasty. Actually, I do really like. Isaiah made that combo.
It's the one combo that I'm like, that Cisco said, you know what, this is actually really good.
No, you did quite a few.
Nah, you were saying on the other, this one's okay, but mine is better.
You clown. I did not say that. No.
Oh, wait, no, that was Boaz.
Yeah, so, yeah, like, just, I would say this is the easy go-to classification if you are filling some type of class or role when playing Airsoft.
Even by Milson West rules, like that loadout, that's simple, like just standard AR, you are just a rifleman. Like that is literally the best way to describe it. Like you're just a basic rifleman.
Yeah, it's very easy to do, like, especially when getting started in Airsoft, you're just doing what you need to do, like even in video games. So when I play video games, I consider myself the main character. I am the hero.
He's got main character syndrome.
No, but you are
He's the OC in this anime.
You are the main character when playing the video game.
Sure.
Correct? So
I feel like, okay, the way I like to play games, I don't ever really view myself as the main character, but then again, that just might just be me.
Did you play Kingdom Hearts?
Okay, but even then, I feel like
Sora is the main character. What are you talking about?
Hey man, I'm just here to support Mickey, all right? As far as I'm concerned, Donald is the main character.
You are a clown.
I'm just supporting him, man.
That's hilarious. Even though he heals you.
Yeah. I don't know why the Keyblade decided to go with me. It should have gone to him.
That's hilarious. No, yeah, but typically you are the main character. So when you are playing Airsoft, you're going to be doing the action type things, right? Unless you choose to do something more supportive. So you're going to be going out, you're going to be trying to kill as many bad guys as you possibly can, get the objective done, and, dominate the field.
I think we both have experience in this field and this class, if you will, because again, it is like the entry-level class. Yeah. It's the easiest, most accessible class really out there.
Yeah.
Because again, just standard AR, you can get one for a very affordable price. It's very attainable.
Yep.
You can build it out, especially if you get the right platform. You can customize it to whatever your heart content. Even if you go with like, if you want to do say more of a Rust 4 inspired look or an Op 4 style loadout,
yeah,
you can totally do that with an AK as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, whatever military or law enforcement or government agency style that you want to do, or even like a regular PMC, you could easily, like every gun that's an AG, you could easily do the assaulter or the assault role very easily.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much the entry one, right? So then I would say normally what people go from assaulter into a different class is usually sniper.
I would say it's either two. You're right on that. It is either sniper, but I think it's either sniper or specifically if they want to stick in that kind of same vibe, but they'll swap it out for like it's more of a CQB style build.
Huh. Oh, yeah.
Because remember,
it'll go either way.
It'll go either way. Because like when you start off, you're gonna get your standard AR, right?
Yeah.
Like because most guys, when they typically try their first time, it's again there are guys that do indoor for the first time.
Yep.
But usually outdoors is where it's a little more forgiving. It's a little bit like I don't want to say super slower pace because some games can be really intense really fast. Yeah. But it is gonna be not as I would say aggressive as say an indoor setting, right?
Oh yeah.
Right. Sure. Like an outdoor game at like say Wildlands is gonna be very different from an indoor game like Tac City.
Yeah. I mean, I think that comes with the field. It's really close quarters. Yeah. It's really just fast paced as to where being in an outdoor field, you have more ground to cover, and it requires more time to cover the field and everything. So, and they usually have more objective based games. At outdoor fields compared to indoor fields. Not saying that indoor fields don't do that, because they do.
When they do, it's fucking fun.
Oh yeah, it's intense. It is absolutely intense. But
yeah, I would say it's definitely one of the two. You're right. It's either like more of like a recon role or more of like a PDW CQB style role.
Rushers style role. And But again, like the CQB rusher, it's still...
It's very similar, but I feel like there is definitely, because of the limitations of the accuracy and overall range. Not saying that CQB builds can't be accurate. They definitely can.
Oh, absolutely.
But, you know, you are going to be a little limited when it comes to your overall range compared to like a carbine or a full-length rifle, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I would feel like with the CQB role, you're definitely more focused or have more of a drive to go ahead and, again, just straight rush up and kill as many as you can. You're not really concerned too much about an objective. Sometimes you can be, but again, that you know that is going to be your role ultimately at the end of the day, is to rush up, get as much control of the field as you possibly can, and just kill whoever's in your way.
Absolutely. Actually, you know what's funny? They are kind of like what would they be? They would be like the guys that go in first and try to like create the line, like the front line for the enemy to not push past, right?
Yeah.
And like at BB War specifically, whenever I'm talking to the team, before the game starts, I'm like, all right, where are my CQB boys? Where are the speed boys at? Where are you guys at? I need you to get there. Just get there as fast as possible. Keep them out of there. And they're like, yeah, let's do it. Like, and that's what they're going there for.
And even if the enemy team does have their own like squad, I guess, of like rushers or like CQB boys, right? If they have their own team, that means it's perfectly going to be equated. Like, they're going to meet in the middle somewhere.
Yep.
Right. Our goal obviously is for one team to be faster, to gain more of a foothold on the map itself. Right. But if we don't have one, the enemy team's definitely going to have one. Yeah. So we're gonna get cut, right? Yeah. At some point or another, they're going to meet us, and they're going to be way too quick for us.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, again, the assaulter can easily do that, but maybe their gun is a little bit heavier. Maybe they're running like a full length.
If the gun's a little longer, right? It's harder to maneuver in like a tighter CQB environment.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think each role definitely has its benefits, but then they also have not really drawbacks or cons, but
I'd say drawbacks. I'd say downsides.
More of just limitations.
Sure.
And again, usually because of the rules of the field. Like for a CQB gun, or someone who's running a CQB gun, they are not as restricted as a sniper rifle, because like with sniper rifles, they usually have an MED, a minimum engagement distance, especially if the field allows higher FPS for the sniper rifles, like,
or for a designated marksman's rifle.
Yeah, exactly. Like even so, like I think designating the DMRs are more tricky than sniper rifles. Because they are semi-auto, they are more like hawked on. They're more watched than a regular sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Because a sniper rifle, like bolt action, pull it, and then it takes at least a couple of seconds to engage the next shot, versus a DMR can follow up shots very easy. Yeah. Right? Which I really like to do.
Same.
So, actually, it would be very interesting to have both DMR and sniper rifles.
I think like for most fields, they typically categorize, if they do have that, right, where they honor like DMRs as an actual DMR, like a sniper role. Yeah. They usually just classify it as a sniper and follow the same rules typically.
Yeah, so
like same MED.
Yeah, so minimum engagement distance for a sniper rifle locally out here is usually like 100 feet. You can't be within 100 feet if your gun is shooting the sniper rifle FPSs. So Wildlands is 500?
I think I think 500.
Man, it used to be 550. It used to be
550.
Yeah, but yeah, so 100 feet, and you have to carry a sidearm. You're forced to carry a sidearm because you have that minimum engagement distance. If someone gets too close, the ref doesn't want you to
resort to using that. You need to have something on you in order to, engage properly.
Exactly.
Because otherwise you'll get tempted to use this just in the heat of the moment. And I mean, I don't mind it when it happens to me because it's happened quite a bit, oddly enough.
Yeah.
But getting hit with a DMR that's actually built out, like that shooting at that sniper-like style or sniper-like range, it hurts.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because they're not using like 2.5s or 2.0s. No.
It's chronoing at 500 FPS with a .2 gram BB, but they're more than likely using something heavier than a .30.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a whole other topic.
I shiver just thinking about the 4.0 I took. Oh god.
Yeah, but yeah. So
you have experience though in this role.
Yes, I do. So I do a pseudo, like recce style role, but also rifleman. So depending on the gun that I'm using specifically, I have a ton of M4s. If you guys didn't know.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Yes, I mean you're the Mayo man for a reason.
Yeah, and I have some of my M4s, my SPRs, that are shooting anywhere from 420 to 450 FPS. Not really like reaching the limit of a sniper rifle at 500, but something to increase the range and accuracy. But the benefit of using a DMR, especially an AEG DMR, is again being able to follow up shots really quickly and not having to worry about being limited in your follow up shot. So I can be a little bit more aggressive. I don't have to take a more sneaky role when doing a DMR, because I can, like, if I shoot and I miss, okay, follow up shots immediately, right? Versus the sniper rifle role, which was very tricky for me.
What sniper rifle did you have?
L96.
Okay.
Yeah, that's still my favorite sniper rifle
Wow.
of all time. I have 3. Yes. Yeah, where I was running, compared to running designated sniper, like a bolt action sniper rifle, I had to fall back a little bit more. I had to be a little bit more sneaky, crawling through the bushes.
Very methodical.
Yeah, and be very, very mindful of the sounds that I'm making, especially the way I ran it. I would always try to flank. I would always.
Same. No, that's the thing. Yeah, I felt I had the same problem when I tried doing DMR.
Oh, really?
Because like I when Taylor, our old head tech, when he built out my Scar H, right? I normally just ran that like a regular battle rifle, just like a regular rifle, right? And I was still in that kind of like assaulter style play, because I do play slightly more aggressive when depending on the situation.
Yep.
But he built out, and he's like, okay, you cannot play with this like you would a regular rifle.
Yeah.
And I said yes. That's what my mouth said. My brain didn't register that. So I'm literally playing and I'm like, oh, there's someone. And I'm moving up and I'm like shooting. I'm like, wow, this thing has really good range. I didn't click in my head, oh wait, this thing shoots hot. It wasn't until a point where I'm playing at Wildlands and I'm playing on, the main map, Babylon?
Yeah.
Okay. I see a guy sticking out. He's like maybe, I don't know, maybe like 80-ish feet, right? So not quite at that MED, you know what I mean? He's not quite at the minimum engagement. I see him just pop out, just reflex, right? Just, oh, there he is, boom, boom, right? Like just 3 quick taps, and I nail him right on the cheek, right? And then it wasn't until I saw that he like recoiled back pretty hard. I saw his hand sticking out the window too, because he was like sticking his head out, and he did, oh, right, and his hand stuck out. I felt so bad because the minute that he recoiled back, I'm like, man, in my head, I'm like, that's a pretty dramatic reaction to that. I'm like, wait, what am I shooting him with? And then I realized what I had, and I'm like, oh no. I called myself out.
You dick, yeah.
I called myself out because I was like, I just completely forgot.
You apologize over
Oh,
there?
yeah.
Good.
I met up to him like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, you were right at that limit. I just thought, like, I didn't realize what I had in my hands at the time. I forgot. I'm not used to running a DMR. He's like, no, dude, it's fine. You got me good. And fist bump. He was chill with it.
Yeah.
Like, I felt bad. I was not about to continue playing at that point.
Oh, for sure. I mean, like, of course, that's very good on you being very honorable about it, because you could easily forget.
Yes.
Absolutely. And for me, I do make it a point to always carry a sidearm. Absolutely. So
I had one too.
Yeah. So I always carry a sidearm, even when I'm playing indoors. Even though I don't need to indoors, because I could use it in every game, right? But whenever I am breaching a building, I always transition. I do like being able to manipulate my gun into very CQB quarters, but if I'm breaching a door, I don't want to risk anything. I make it the habit just to draw, cut in the corners, so I can also maintain a smaller profile instead of having my gun going out first like that. If you do it wrong, that's how you do it. But being CQB like really tight, and then cutting the corners, and then once I clear it, I reholster, and then I go back to my rifle.
Back to normal.
And then like I'm peeking out the window or whatever, like, to limit the problems that you could run into with that MED.
Yeah, so that's like more of the CQB side, and you've also had experience with the recon role. We both had experience in that role as well.
Have you ever played a sniper role?
Like DMR, but never bolt action.
Okay, that's your next challenge, actually.
Man, that's gonna be rough.
Oh, it absolutely is.
It's gonna be rough, man.
Because I went into the sniper role very early in Airsoft. I would say right after my first AEG, which was the cheapest AEG, like the clear one.
Yeah.
I went into the sniper role.
What? Okay, I gotta ask. What movie convinced you to do it? Or what video game convinced you? Or anime at this point, because I know we're both degenerates.
You know, I don't think it was anything specific. I
thought he was gonna say Virtual Cop. You know the one where you had to like. If you guys remember that arcade game? The one where you had like the actual L96.
Oh, you know what? What actually convinced me to take on the sniper role? An older channel. I think he's still uploading videos. Scout the Doggy.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah. He did a lot of gameplay footage of showing.
If you're watching Scout the Doggy, big fan. Been always a big fan of yours.
Absolutely, one of the first. Goated. But yeah, he showed a lot of bolt action snipers, and like I don't know what camera he was using at the time, but that thing was high class because you could see those BBs fly across the map, and I was like, that's so cool. And then also seeing a whole bunch of people who actually, there's one video he was using an L96. I remember it was a OD Green L96, and he had it set up on a tripod, and. Definitely don't do this. This was a different era.
Yes.
This was a different time, okay? But he had it set up on a tripod. He was shooting out of his like room window into his backyard, shooting at cans lined up on the fence, which were maybe like, I don't know, 100-ish feet away, and he was knocking these cans. I was like, that's fucking cool. And just knowing the sniper role, like Jarhead and and Shooter, those are definitely ones that like really like, damn, that's
cool.
One shot, one kill, so accurate. He doesn't even know where I am, type thing. Like that was like, oh, that's sick. That's exactly what I wanted to do. It's not like that. it's definitely not like that. Okay. So again, I said I did this starting off, and this is why I always recommend to anyone getting started in the airsoft that say they want a sniper. I'm like, no, get an AG first, please.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is not to discourage you from exploring, different facets of airsoft.
Like,
of course not. I mean, that's the whole point of this video, is to let you know exactly what type of class might work best for you. But if you are a beginner, we are always going to say, maybe reconsider, think about maybe starting off instead with an M4, AR-15, an M16, because of just ease of use, right? It's a lot easier to find upgrade or replacement parts, because as a beginner, you're gonna break something. It happens.
It's definitely more enjoyable to be able to continue shooting versus shoot.
I missed. Let me rack again.
I missed again. Let me tell you something. The amount of times that I got bored waiting was so irritating. Actually, it got to the point where I was so irritated by just being forced to sit back. It's not that I didn't want to move up. I couldn't because of
minimum engagement distance.
The minimum engagement distance. So at one point, I started carrying my MP5K.
Yeah.
I was like, screw this guy.
Yeah, you see more action. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like I feel like that it boils down to what the field like layout is and what the type of game mode.
Yes, absolutely. So
like when we play together, you've done it before, right? When we go all play at Wildlands, right? Thankfully, that is one of the fields that I feel like kind of caters towards everyone.
Yep.
Right. So there's enough bushes, there's enough like debris and buildings, I would say, right, for a sniper or a recon role to take cover and be able to go out and provide intel.
Yes.
Enemy movement.
That's actually one thing that I want to say though. Even though I got frustrated because I wasn't getting enough action, you have to know what you are doing, what your role is supposed to do, and get satisfaction from that. So one thing when I was running my bolt action sniper is I'd be on comms, just intel, like sending it to the team, be like, okay, you got a squad of 4 moving up the left side. Okay, they're gonna try to flank. You need to send guys over there and like coordinate with them. And I would be able to, on occasion, pick off one guy every so often, right? And I really got that sense of satisfaction knowing that I prevented that squad from moving up. Like my intel directly impacted their movement, which was so cool.
You're basically orchestrating like the entire team at that point.
Exactly. Yeah, like you get, especially if you are really sneaky and you're able to get a good vantage point, you are just seeing everything that...
Recommend you get comms.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's definitely...
That's a big one.
Let me tell you something though. Back when I was doing this sniper role, I had these cheap, like Motorola, not even Motorola, they were like Midland walkie-talkies.
I know the ones.
They were like the $15 ones.
Yes.
And like you can hear it. It's so grainy audio is disgusting. But you can hear that shit. Like I'd turn it all the way down and be like, hey, they're coming up this side. just to keep it, and like I do like one of these just to prevent
My
the
dad
sound
had
from.
my dad had some, right? Because whenever we went camping, he would always, anytime we had to go to the restroom, right, we had to. It was a pretty big walk whenever we would go camping, right?
Okay.
To go find like the porta johns,
Yeah.
or wherever the shitters were.
Yep.
So he would always take those like cheap walkie talkies. I thought I was the coolest thing because he gave it to me. He gave me his set, so I split it with me and my best friend, and I had the freaking like earpiece for it, and I was like, oh man, I'm so cool.
I'm so covert.
I'm so covert. I'm such operator. I thought it was badass, man. It turns out, then I looked at what everyone else was running when it came to comms, right, with their fancy ass Bayo things, and I was like,
Oh no, yeah.
oh man.
I mean,
I have one now too, though.
Oh, yeah,
I have
of
like
course.
3.
yeah, I got a good amount.
Yeah.
One was funny. I keep one in my car. I keep one in my fiance's car.
Mm.
I have one at home as well. I know we are realistically not going to be able to talk to each other. Like we work very far away. And
Yeah.
we're also quite a bit of ways from home. But I told her, like, when you're on the way home, have your radio on in case of an emergency.
Yeah.
If something goes wrong, we have a private frequency that like,
That's pretty smart, actually.
yeah, I did a little bit of research like to the local area and just like figure out what channels not to be on, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, just turn it on, and just whenever you get close, within like a 5-mile radius of the house, just start radioing it, because like I'll be able to, like, I'll just have it on, I'll listen to it. I'm not gonna like call it out. But once she starts talking, I'm like, okay, cool. We are close to each other. We can rendezvous. We can coordinate a little bit better. And having a decent set of radios in Airsoft can change.
Yeah.
Like change.
Just
the
being
way
on
you
the
play.
same just being on the same wavelength and being able to communicate with each other,
Yeah.
or like having a team that knows how to play with each other and communicate and adapt to the situation.
Yes.
That is ultimately what's going to win you the game, I feel.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like you'll see it more in like speed QB,
Yeah.
like tournaments, or just regular like speed soft play.
Like the call outs.
Yeah, they'll call it out, be like bunker, snake, you know, like they're calling it out. But the con of that is you're yelling that out to the world,
So
the
they can
enemy
hear
is hearing it too. Versus you have a radio, especially if you're wearing earpieces like a headset, it's all contained. So you could easily be like, hey, you got guys coming up on your left. You need to keep an eye out, watch the corner, and then you coordinate that way. And whenever we get to play as a squad, like go out and play, and we're all on comms, it's one of the coolest fucking things, because you're like, oh, I need guys on the left side. They're moving hard. And be like, I'm getting flanked over here, man. I need and just coordinate that side, because it adds a layer of stress, because you're like, otherwise you wouldn't know what's going on.
Yes.
You can only hope for the best.
But it's so fun though, knowing that like, again, you have like a team to actually work together with, right?
Oh.
And again, those multiple different roles do blend itself to that style of game, because remember, certain roles help in some situations more than others. Again, my favorite role of all time is going to be the support class, right?
Okay.
Like that is definitely, out of all the classes, like, yeah, I definitely like the rifleman, like standard rifleman class.
Yep.
But LMGs, just supporting like the team, is actually my favorite role. Here's the thing, LMGs are definitely an inconvenient class. I will say that from someone who's been running them for years. They are inconvenient, they can be quite heavy. Some of them are easier to upgrade, thank God.
Yeah.
Right, like the 249 is probably the easiest out of all the LMGs, I feel, in my opinion,
Okay.
to upgrade, outside of like, the strike, like LMGs.
Okay, the strike LMGs that are basically M4s.
Yeah, they're just M4s with a different receiver.
I mean, it's good, but depending on the field, they may not.
they might not even classify that as an LMG.
Yeah, because I remember when they first started coming out, some fields like, that's just an M4.
That's just an M4, yeah. It has semi, just stick to semi.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's
Kinda sucks, yeah.
It does suck, because, like, especially if, like, you bought the gun and you revolved it around a specialty kit and it was supposed to be like a sport gunner and the field's not allowing it, that's definitely a bummer. But
Or hell, even RPKs have the same problem sometimes.
yes, absolutely, RPK, because, I mean, again, those look
Just like a regular AK, just long.
long AK.
It's
right?
the AK still not to worry about.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I had to.
You are a clown. But yeah, I would say both support gunners and, well, actually, compared to a sniper role, would you say a scout, or not a scout, would you say a support gunner is a little bit more restricted?
Again, I feel like that's going to really come down to the field itself.
Okay.
I feel like generally no, because LMGs, for the most part, right, depending on the field, are restricted to the same FPS that everyone else is at.
Yeah.
You are at a definite advantage over everyone else though, because you have the ability to shoot. I mean, only in full auto, yes.
Yes.
But I mean, and sometimes the field will restrict you to just, do 2 or 1 second burst fire only.
Yep.
But even then, depending on the build you have, you can still lay down pretty large amounts of BB, like walls of hate in just one direction, and provide cover fire.
Walls of hate.
Walls of hate, man.
That is.
Why do you call it walls of hate? Because I would hate to walk into that wall.
That is so good.
I mean, tell me wrong.
That's accurate. No, yeah, I think even though you aren't running and gunning like you would a assault role, a support gunner plays a key element to being able to again coordinate with the team and actually make progression on the field, whether it be laying down cover fire again so your teammates can move, actually just preventing the enemy team from moving up as well, or preventing them from getting to an objective. It has better capability compared to a regular rifle, again because of the semi-auto rules.
Mm-hmm. I would say it even depends too on the field, because again, like Wildlands and a lot of the fields I feel like here are, to an extent, they are a little bit more like willing to let like LMG users run and gun with their LMGs. Because again, here's the thing: at the end of the day, if you're running like a 249 or a 240, it's already big, it's already cumbersome, right? It's heavy. So if you can run with that and be effective with it, that's just more power to you, right?
Yeah.
Because you're already at a disadvantage due to the weight, right? This is so much easier, right? Just a regular AR is so much easier to carry and so much more comfortable, right? As compared to an LMG, where again, sometimes you are in an awkward position. Sometimes it is really heavy. Yeah. You're exhausted from carrying.
It's also bulky.
Yeah.
It's also quite bulky as well. Like each class, especially if you play toward their strengths, there are going to be limitations to it, and there are things that each class can do that the others can't, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So, like, even though you are the type, again, like Isaiah will run his LMG like a rifleman or an assaulter, like there are just going to be the guys that have regular M4s or even something like smaller than a carbine that can just pie the corners easier, get into really close places.
You ever tried clearing with this thing?
Yeah.
It is, I can do it, but not like anywhere near as well as someone who just has one of these, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Even like, honestly, because I would say outdoor players that use pistols as their main.
Oh my God, they're terrifying.
Yeah, like they are very far in between, outdoors specifically, but their pistol shoots 400 FPS.
Well, not only that, like
they deck the hell out of them.
Just the way they play too. Like here's the thing, a player goes into an outdoor for the most part, especially if they've been around for a while. If you see them with like a sidearm as their primary, be afraid of them, especially if you go to a CQB like section of a map.
Oh yeah, you know
they own that shit. They own that shit.
Absolutely. They like what they lack in range, they make up for in speed and mobility.
Yeah.
Like they can crawl
also
through.
Skill too, just the how they clear as well. It's so efficient and quick.
Oh yeah, for sure. Again, because like you're going from sticking your gun out, if you want to get a little bit tighter, but like majority of the time your gun is entering first.
Yeah.
Right? Versus you having a pistol where it's much closer. Like you could walk in like relatively the same time and easily just clear out the building much faster compared to having to swing the barrel
or transition.
Yeah, or do one of these versus going for the pistol. You just real quick, or even just moving side to side, just pointing it is so much more efficient in a CQB arena, even compared to a SMG or a PDW, right? You still have to direct, right? You're having to move more of your body in a specific way.
There's less of a profile to maneuver for sure. Definitely a lot less than say like a carbine or a full-length rifle. But again, something about the pistol, just because it's so small and so compact, it just lends itself so much better to that environment.
One thing that I will say though about running a pistol as like your primary, one rule that pretty much every field has is no blind fire.
Yes.
You need to look down your sights, right? Or look down the barrel of the gun. With a pistol, it's a little bit easier because you could be aiming, like you're just directing, like even transitioning from eye to eye, You can easily do that instead of having to rotate your full body to do it. So, like, again, like, it's just a different way to play. But even, like, honestly, would this be considered an assault class?
Yes,
I would say so.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Because your main objective is still the same, right? Your main objective is to be a body state grunt at the front end, right, of the conflict itself. Tip of the spear, right? Your main goal is to go ahead and just rush up and get as many kills as you possibly can.
Yeah, I get that. And because they can one-hand it, like they're not forced to, like, of course you could easily one-hand this, but this is going to be more strenuous than a pistol, right? If there is an objective that you need to carry, like a suitcase or a bomb or something that you need to move, just easily pick that up and then just still be able to engage more effectively. Not saying that you can't.
No, of course not.
With a rifle.
Oh, absolutely, you can.
But again, just being able to direct, you can even keep closer and still keep a little bit more mobility, flexibility, right? Like, it's, again, the creativity and the layers that you put into the role that you want to play specifically can kind of dictate the experience that you have.
Yeah. No, I'd say so as well. No, like, one thing I will say though, like, it's really going to depend. Like, every person's going to be different. Every person's going to have like different tastes as to what guns they think are cool.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's going to help play into a kind of deciding factor of like what role they're going to end up being in, right? But since you and I both are pretty big fans of most, I would say most guns, we are like enthusiasts of like firearms to an extent, right? You especially. I can appreciate a gun, even though it may not be my personal taste. I can definitely.
Me especially. When I say me especially, like I'm some kind of. Like I'm a gun nut, but I'm not like crazy.
I mean, he is a gun nut.
I
feel like with you, because with you, I feel like with me, I'm definitely like with ape brain, right? Like I'm like I have to look at a gun and be like, how does this work, right? I'm trying to figure it out, right? I look like an ape just discovering fire. But with you, I give you any gun, and I feel like you're gonna be like, oh, I know how to use this, and you'll be like okay with it. I'm not saying you're gonna be like John Wick with it, but it's pretty effective.
I mean.
Because you have experience shooting pretty much everything that I can think of. Every class, I would say.
So, in terms of I haven't shot. Well, I have shot quite a few guns.
Yes.
But each platform is somewhat different. But the way that I see it is, pretty much every AEG works the same. Pretty much every gas pullback gun works the same.
Oh, I was talking about real steel.
Oh, real firearms?
Yeah.
I haven't shot that many real firearms.
I don't know. I feel like you have. Different varieties, I would say.
I have shot different varieties, but it's like a pistol. You know, it's like, hey, it's a pistol. Hey, it's a rifle. And it's a rifle. You know. Actually, I haven't gotten to shoot a bolt action rifle yet.
Didn't you? I think one of.
Oh no, wait.
Yeah,
Taylor.
Yeah.
With that freaking specialty round that isn't made anymore. Fucking that's like $10 a round or some shit. It's fucking stupid.
Or no, Joseph, remember?
He had a Car 98, didn't he?
No. He had that like one like bolt action 308. Remember? I forget which gun it was.
I don't think I shot that.
Yeah, we did. And you're like, Isaiah, let's go shoot this. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna shoot it. How hard could this be? Cool. Oh, my shoulder. And I kept doing it.
Wait, it shot semi?
No, well, no, bolt action. I'm sorry, bolt action.
Because you did I was like,
it hurt, man. Like it really hurt every time. Because I pulled it back and I was like, oh,
actually,
hell yeah.
You need to shoot my 12 gauge with the slugs. That boy.
I have shot 12 gauge with slugs.
Yeah.
It hurts.
I have a decent rubber pad.
You gotta ask yourself too, right? Like back in the day, right? Like especially Cold War and World War II.
It was just steel or wood.
Well,
what did you do?
Not only that, but like you gotta think about it, right? Like the calibers they were using, the M1 Garand, right? That's like, that was your standard infantry rifle, man. Everyone had that. And you look at the builds of these dudes too. They weren't like huge, like Herculean dudes. They were like pretty small, like lean, mean machines, right?
No, I get that.
So how are they fucking dealing with that? Like it was no big deal. They're built different, I guess.
Built different indeed. The quality there.
I wish to get to that point, right? Like I look like a string bean, but man, I can hand it 3 away like nobody's business.
That's hilarious.
But because we have an appreciation for different like types of firearms and airsoft and real steel as well,
it goes hand in hand.
It goes hand in hand. What would you say is your, I guess, your ranking as far as like the classes for yourself, right? What do you like to run the most from like number 1 all the way down to the least?
That's pretty difficult to say because, like I mentioned earlier, I do a more hybrid role between recon, scout, and rifleman. If I were to have to choose between the two, oh damn, I don't even know what I would pick, honestly.
Like, what's your number 1? Like, what did you say is your favorite? Like, what you have the most fun playing that position?
my hybrid roll.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I go to it, because I build my gun to get the like maximum amount of range.
I'll say this. Okay, here's the distinguishing fact then, or feature. When you play in your hybrid role, what FPS limitation are you at?
That will definitely be dictated by the gun that I'm running. So I would say most of my guns are going to be shooting 400 FPS.
Okay.
So I would probably choose a rifleman class.
Yeah, I would say you're definitely like more of an assaulter,
Yeah.
but leaning towards like more accuracy and long range.
Exactly. More of the SPR, you know.
Actually, that gun right there on the wall is actually Cisco's.
That's actually outdated.
That's cool.
No, that I did a private collection on that here.
I
space
think
for
this
it.
gun's cool.
No, it's like I'm definitely proud of it. That is my Mark 12-ish M4 SPR. This one did take quite a long time for me to build. Let me just set that up right there for you guys to see. I did a private collection. You guys can see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one obviously is made for long range. This one's going to be shooting, I think, 420 FPS currently. The inner barrel is a 509 length, 509 millimeter length. There it is. Yeah. So it goes all the way through. You guys can see it. It's pretty much almost at the
Is
very
that
end.
Echo One like recessed like flash hider where like the barrel threads are?
Oh, my bad.
Oh no, Joe. I like to hear, but it goes over the outer barrel.
Yeah.
Ah.
So the outer barrel actually goes to like right here. My bad.
No, you're
It goes to like right here, but then yeah, it's weird the way that this one is. But that style is actually an older style of a real suppressor. So I mean, of course, it has its place and everything, but this is made more for a the DMR role. As much as I hate to say it.
Yeah. No. Yeah, you get it. It's
because M4s aren't DMR.
just say marksman's roll. There
Okay,
you go.
more marksman roll. But I mean, the SPR, you know, it's using a higher grain bullet. The Mark 12 specifically has a different barrel, so it's made to fill the role between like a sniper and
A regular
a regular rifleman in a squad, so they can get the ranges, or they can get further ranges than a regular rifleman more accurately. But maybe the sniper just can't provide enough firepower in terms of putting rounds down range, right?
Or maybe not as mobile, I would say.
Yeah, that too. So that's where I really like to play, because especially if my gun is shooting around 400 FPS, but I was like able to tune the barrel, the hop up and everything to just make BB soar. Like I'm able to engage targets further out, but I still run like a regular rifleman, where if I need to get nitty and gritty, I just bring it right up close and get into the front line, the action of the fight.
The more I think about it, the Mark 12, because again, like the way, like the Mark 12, its initial intention of like what it was meant to be, that sort of in between.
Yeah.
That definitely really does like fall in line, and like that's on like character or on brand for like the way you like to play. Again, that sort of hybrid role.
Yeah.
It totally makes sense why you do it.
Yeah, so I mean, I do like to do the regular DMR role as well, but with the DMR, especially at our local fields, we are limited just like a sniper rifle, but you do have the benefit of having the semi-auto compared to bolt action.
Yeah.
So you do get a little bit more benefit of running like an SR25, something that's supposed to be like 308 or larger in real firearms. In Airsoft, it's all 6mm.
Yeah.
So just the FPS is going to dictate. See, this is a whole loaded conversation that we've talked about before, where FPS doesn't mean more range.
Not necessarily. No.
Not necessarily. Yes, in a very like small aspect. I wouldn't say small. In a aspect, it is part dictator of range.
But it doesn't ultimately mean that like because you have such a high FPS, you're automatically going to be having a much larger effective range.
Exactly.
Like that's not it at all.
Exactly. So you do like there are very specific things that, because I've been playing so long, I would classify differently a little bit. Again, this one DMR sniper rifle. This one, that hybrid role.
SPR.
But if I were to increase the FPS on this, get it to maybe like 450-ish, I would definitely go for more of the DMR sniper rifle class, that play style. Because this is shooting 420, I'm in a weird in between that fucking sucks because I still have that minimum engagement distance, but I'm not shooting as far as a sniper rifle or a DMR.
Yeah.
So like I really fuck myself with this, which is why I don't use it as much. But I could increase FPS again and get up to that range, but I'm limited because of the length of this gun. Like obviously it's not as long as this is the M24 sniper rifle.
Believe so, yes.
This is one bolt action sniper rifle. You know, it's super long, and because I have the inner barrel going toward the end of the mock suppressor, it's even the freaking bipod. Why didn't I go for the compact one? I went for a full size fucking I'm criticizing myself. This is what I get.
It's like a kid.
It has come full circle.
It's like a kid when they find like their old drawings from school and it's like, oh God, who drew this?
Yeah. This one was definitely built with more of a impressionist kit in mind. Yeah. Obviously this isn't a accurate Mark 12, which is why I call it the Mark 12-ish. But
is that really why you call it that officially?
Yeah, no, this is a Daniel Defense MFR rail.
Yeah.
The Mark 12 uses a
that weird ass like tube.
I believe, is it a Knights Armament rail?
I thought it was Knights Armament that made that.
I believe so. Yeah, it's the SPR rail. It is a tube, which is why I went for the MFR because I didn't have that rail at the time. But it's fairly different. And again, I built this gun thinking like, okay, I'm gonna do more of a long range M4 style roll, which it does fill that class, but comparing it to like my MGC4 here, the Mark II, which is a regular carbine length, I still get really good range and accuracy where if I want to, I could throw a short dot on here and still be effective at longer range. But yeah, so I can use a regular M4 carbine length more effectively at longer ranges because it does have, you know, a longer barrel, 14 inches, 14 and a half if you count the bird cage, but the inner barrel is gonna be like 363 millimeters. So you can use it effectively at longer range. Not like, depending on how you tune it.
Yes.
Depending on how you tune it, but probably not as effective as a DMR that has been tuned.
But just my SPR shoots it.
I don't give a damn. Oh yeah, so, but like, am I going to get the same range with this PXG9? Probably not.
But Cisco might.
I don't give up.
Freaking keyboard warriors, man. Gotta love them.
Oh no, I mean every gun does have a place.
Yes.
In not only airsoft but in application.
Right, like some guns are just gonna do one job better than another, and that's just the reality of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like one thing that I actually talk about quite often is using a SMG or a more compact gun as the backup for your sniper rifle, like a bolt-action sniper rifle, compared to a pistol. Now, I did talk about the benefits of running a pistol. You know, you get that mobility and everything. But with an SMG, especially an AEG version, you do get more firepower. There's more ammo in the mags. You're running off of a battery, so you know you don't have to worry about gas if the seals are right or anything, and you can easily just ditch the sniper and go play like an assaulter class mid-game.
Yeah.
It is a little bit more cumbersome. You'll have to find a way to secure this to the body, but in terms of application, it does come in a significant difference in terms of gameplay.
Yeah. Okay, so would you say that then like assaulter, like the CQB style, would you say that that's like your second class or your second place class? No?
No.
What would you say is your second place?
Sniper.
Sniper?
Yeah.
Like legit sniper?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I would say legit sniper. As much as I would like to say DMR, I do get a lot of I do get a lot of enjoyment being able to coordinate with friends and teammates.
You know what? That makes sense because so like we'll go down your list then. So number 1 is that sort of hybrid, again, the assaulter class.
Yeah.
2 is sniper or recon. 3?
I'd probably give it to the. Actually, it would be a tie. It would be a tie between DMR and a CQB role.
I would give the DMR and the sniper rifle the same sort of like role, honestly, in that sort of recon position.
Okay, so if that's
Yeah.
the way, then of course it's gonna be CQB.
CQB third,
The CQB is definitely gonna be third,
and then support would be dead last.
Well, I would say that because I haven't had the opportunity to run a support role yet.
To be fair, like I would understand why a lot of people don't want to run that class because again, just the weight. Like I mean,
I
it's
get
heavy, right?
See, but just the classic Army Stoner LMG, the one that I want, is still on pre-order. It's coming in.
It's coming in July apparently.
Yeah, I know.
I wanted kind of too. I want both.
That's my favorite LMG.
Really?
That is my favorite LMG like style, like just the way it
I did
looks.
not know that.
No, it's weird, but like cool, you know.
I mean, I will say this: like, as much as of a 249 fanboy I am, that's more so just because again, like, how iconic the 249 is, right? And the history behind it, how much it's seen service, right? And just how, even though it has its problems like any gun, right?
Yep.
It just still, to this day, it's still in use, right? We're still using it, and it's honestly, I consider it like a legit modern day classic. The Stoner is everything that the 249 should have been.
Really?
I mean,
you think so?
Well, I mean, it's way more comfortable.
Yeah.
It's a lot lighter.
Valid.
Right? Like it's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Honestly, it's not even about the weight for me. I've seen so many 249s, especially because like they are quite available.
Sure.
The Stoner specifically, it's an LMG. Like anybody that knows what the Stoner is, you recognize it immediately, but everyone else is like, what the hell is that? What is that tube block looking mother, like what is this? And that's what drew it to me, because I thought like, wow, that is disgusting, but at the same time, I'm attracted. Like, what is this?
What is this? What am I feeling right now?
Yeah, that's the main reason, honestly. But
okay.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to experience the support gunner role yet in Airsoft, which is surprising because I've been playing Airsoft for quite a bit of time. But whenever I get a new gun, I just think of how I currently play. Mm-hmm. And not trying to say don't explore.
No, absolutely
like
not.
The different roles, but like if you have the ability to, by all means, you know what? I should just borrow yours for a game.
Yeah. No, we keep saying like
if you don't mind.
No, yeah, dude, I love it whenever I get to see like, especially guys that are in like completely opposite roles that I normally play in. Again, I'm not generally like a reconnaissance style dude, right? I'm usually again at the front. I'm usually holding down. Maybe I might be like sort of like that sort of midfield or midsection of the combat, right? At the very most, I'm usually not in the back. I like to be a little bit more aggressive, closer to where the fighting's happening, right? And try to get objectives. But I love seeing when people, you remember Will?
Yeah.
He once his 416 went down, right? And he's like, oh shit, bro, I don't got a gun on me. And I was like, you know what? I have my sidearm on me. I'm just gonna rush. Here, Will, you take the 249. He's like, oh, okay, bro. And he takes it. He's like, dude, this is so heavy, dude. He's like struggling to lift it. He's like, oh god, bro. And he's
his
like,
impression of our boy Will is spot on. It's hilarious.
He's like struggling to lift. I see his arms shaking.
Yeah, because he's weak as fuck.
Yeah, he is. I'm sorry, Will. I'm so sorry, but you are.
I'm not sorry,
man.
Bro.
You gotta start lifting,
I know.
bro.
Do some push-ups. Do something.
Do something.
Come on. I'm even working out. Do something, bro. But no, I do like that as well, because like that's a part of like me bringing out friends and friends of friends and even family who have never played Airsoft.
Just seeing the reactions.
Yeah, just like getting them to like.
Even guys on my team too, like that don't usually play or don't run an LMG. Some of the guys like if I'm driving a vehicle, right? I'm driving technical. I have to switch positions with them because I'm one of the only guys that technically like Taylor allowed to drive the vehicle because he trusted me to drive
the tracker.
Yeah. So I'd have someone else like riding in the back, right, with my 249 providing like rear security.
His tracker is
it's
an oxymoron, but he let me drive it up and down the street.
Yeah.
It's slow as shit. But it's just fun to drive.
No, absolutely. I'm working on mine right now.
Oh yeah, I forgot you had
my Samurai, yeah. But no, I'll have guys in the back of my 249, and they'll get to shoot it, right? Because I'll drive pretty close to like wherever shit's going, like hot, right? They'll shoot it, and they're like, "Oh, dude, this thing's so much fun! I gotta build one too."
Yeah.
I love seeing that reaction from people. Again, they're not having to like freaking like ruck like 2 miles with it, which afterwards then you'll get a different sort of appreciation for it. But this is what I'll say about about like any sort of LMG or the support class itself, right? Back in Vietnam? Yeah, back in Vietnam, USGIs were typically issued for their support gunner, right? Or for their LMGs, it was a M60. That was what they typically went with. Right?
Actually, the M60 is my second favorite.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Mine's 240, but
oh, is it really?
Yeah.
I like it. I do appreciate it, but
It's not comfortable.
I can't see myself realistically using it. Vehicle mounted? Oh,
hell yeah!
I'd sit on the back of the car all day.
But like a lot of the troops would call, and they would nickname, like depending on the unit, right? They would nickname the M60 the pig, right? It was greedy. It was constantly eating up everyone's ammunition, right? It would go through it so fast, right? It was heavy. It was bulky. No one liked carrying it around. It was just annoying, right? It was a pig.
Yeah.
But when shit hit the fan and you were surrounded, you prayed that M60, and you prioritize keeping that M60 alive and keep feeding it so that way it'll protect you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the way I feel with like LMGs, like even for Airsoft to this day, where it's like, yeah, it's annoying to lug around, but I mean, if you get strong enough for it, it's not gonna be that much of an issue. And even though like you can build it out so that it still eats a lot of ammo, because again, it shoots in full auto.
Yep.
When you're like surrounded by everyone, you need that suppressive fire to go ahead and like hold that position, or even take a position, or discourage enemies from moving in on your position, because no one wants to rush an LMG.
But yeah, even with Isaias, when he plays like Milsim events where ammo is very restricted, like that, the LMG shines. It absolutely shines. Like versus like a regular day where you're running with guys that have 10 magazines on their person, like myself. You don't feel that need to like protect it, but in that shit hits the fan scenario, that's the gun that you want to keep up and running.
Everyone on the team will prioritize LMG users because again, give them the ammo, they'll keep everyone else away.
Yep.
Because no one wants to rush a position where again they have it on a bead, right? They have it exactly lined up. You rush this position, you're gonna get a wall of hate coming your way.
Yeah, valid, very valid.
So for me, I would say my ranking is support class.
Okay.
Oddly enough, I'm kind of with you on the same boat. Like that sort of recon, like sort of position is like number 2 for me. I like doing that. I've swapped it out where I've gone to events where I'm like, oh, my 249 is in service right now, right?
Oh yeah, you did. You ran your Scar H.
Yeah, it was my first time going as a DMR for a Milsim. It was very fun.
You liked it?
It was very different. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun, but it was very different. It was hard to get out of that mindset, and I still kept running it like a battle rifle. And I'm like, no. Bad.
So tell me, at Milsim West, because you are a DMR or a sniper, was there any minimum engagement distance? Did you have any special rules?
Yes, there were rules for it. I'm not going to remember all of them right now because I don't do it as often.
How many times have you done it at Milsim?
Those events? Once.
Often is an understatement. This way,
like, once.
He's done it once. I thought it's like, oh, he's gone like 2 or 3 times. Okay.
I've shot DMRs like 2 or 3 times.
Because,
like
that's different. As
I was like, I took Taylor's gun. I was like, fuck, it's a close one to me.
Don't you have to be classified individually? Like you are the scout. Like you are the sniper.
Not really. It's more so like if you have the gun on you, then you're in that role.
Oh.
If that makes any sort of sense.
Oh, okay.
Because I mean, theoretically,
more strict.
Because theoretically, like I mean. Who's to say, right? Like, if the guy who's normally your DMR falls asleep, right, and you happen to have the rifle that can shoot out, why not?
Yeah.
Same thing with LMGs. Just because you're the guy that initially went in with an LMG, if you want to take a nap, you can pass the LMG around and have like the rest of the team use it to provide firewatch.
That's valid.
Yeah. Obviously, the only difference is medics. Like, if you're like an actual like medic, like in real life, like shit hits the fan, then you can't pretend to be a medic if someone has a real life situation.
Yeah.
That one's kind of obvious, but you know.
Okay, I get it.
But yeah, like working in like sort of a reconnaissance position where it was literally me and like a recce team going out and trying to provide, and literally just setting up a small little listening post and like just providing intel on. No, you're getting it. Providing intel on enemy movement. Intel on enemy movement, right? Like scouting out positions and locations. Okay, they normally like to amass here. We think this is their HQ, or we think they might have set up a temporary like patrol base here. Like doing that sort of stuff is fun. Like really, really fun.
Oh, I can imagine. One of these days, we'll all go together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I think that we covered the general.
Oh yeah, just rounding it up. 3rd place would be CQB. Or actually, no, 3rd place would be regular assaulter rifleman. No, you're not Spider-Man. Go, Web, go. Fly. Up and away, Web. I'm so glad you fucking remember that one.
That was actually amazing.
And the last would be CQB, like specifically, because I'm not that it's not fun. I'm just not very good at it.
You're good.
Yeah, it sounds like a skill issue to me.
Well, see, I went. This is probably a story for another time, but I went the deep end of CQB, and I went spring pump shotgun.
I mean, hey man, those things just work.
Oh, absolutely.
Doesn't matter like what type of class you are. Those things just fucking work. Everyone loves those.
That definitely tests your skills though as a player, because you can't rely on. It's basically a pump, like a bolt action sniper rifle, but
In pump
close.
shotgun
Yeah,
form, yeah.
but close. Yeah, I think for one of the next podcasts we should do the gear that you would run in each class.
Oh yeah, no, that sounds like a good idea.
Because I think it would definitely be quite different. Like you could easily like want to play carry doing all of them, but I think
It's not the most efficient.
exactly like for a sniper rifle, I'd probably go with more of a chest rig, a sport gunner. I don't even know what I would do. So I think that'd be really cool. Guys, let us know if you want us to do loadouts around each class as well. And if there was a class that we didn't talk about that you want us to talk about, please let us know.
Yeah, leave it in the comment section. We always take a look at those. And again, we might be able to go and revisit this topic again. And again, if you want that part 2 to happen, let us know down in the comment section.
Yep.
But until then, it's been another episode of the Range Time Podcast. My name is not Cisco.
My name is not Isaiah, but make sure you guys take advantage of the double entries right now and all the sales we got going on. There's up to 25% off store-wide because of our summer sale. We have coupon code 20th20TH that will give you 10% off of everything, excluding the shocker deals, because those are the best discounts.
Oh yeah.
There's coupon code 20BD.
20BD for up to 20% off accessories, BBs, green gas, all the essentials that you need. If it's an accessory, you'll be able to get a discount on it.
Mm-hmm. And coupon code GEAR, which will give you 20% off
Tactical gear.
But other than that, guys, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Have a good one, guys.
Peace, y'all.